Well, this week, lawmakers are expected to vote on the GOP's new health care plan as Obamacare subsidies are going to expire in just a few weeks. And one senator hoping both sides of the aisle can reach a compromise.
Republicans have pushed that we would put money in the patient's pocket so that she has something to pay the out-of-pocket. Democrats are saying let's do something about premiums. I think, Dana, there is a deal that could be made. Why don't we do both?
Fox News senior medical analyst Dr. Mark Siegel joins us now. Dr. Siegel, thanks for coming on.
Great to see you.
So that's good news, optimism. Hopefully we will have a compromise because the tax credits will expire at the end of the year. Premiums are going to go up big time. Do you support the Democratic plan where we extend the tax credits, or the Republican plan where you give money, put it in an HSA for every person that's affiliated with Obamacare?
I'm more on the side of the Republican plan, but let me tell you what's going to happen. I also spoke to Congresswoman Virginia Foxx, who was here over the weekend. I'm not going to put her on the spot, but she thinks a deal is going to be made, too. The deal is probably going to include kicking the can down the road on the subsidies for a couple of years, while at the same time starting to introduce this idea you're talking about, which is putting the money in the pockets of the patients. Because the problem with Obamacare is it's a propped-up situation where you're literally flooding the insurance companies with money for delivering an inferior product that doesn't really take care of anybody, because doctors can't work with it, because patients have these huge $6,000 or more deductibles that eat up when they really need emergency care or at least semi-urgent care. I can't get it for them. Yeah, it'll get me a colonoscopy for my patient, but if I find anything, I may not be able to do anything about it. The idea of restricted health savings accounts where the patient can make the decision of what they're going to use it for, where they can save away, the way President Trump has been saying, the way that Senator Cassidy has been saying, I'm all for that. I think what's going to happen is that the subsidies will be for a certain select group where they don't think that's going to happen, and then the health savings accounts for people that can use it more effectively. I think both are good. There'll be a deal where both is true. I can't wait until the current Obamacare structure goes away. It's sucking the federal funding and not giving real care.
All right, Dr. Siegel, congratulations. New York Times bestseller, The Miracles Among Us, your new book. Also, there's a Fox Nation special if anyone wants to watch. Your book, rave reviews. Everyone loves to talk about faith and miracles, and you're in the medical field. You went to Brown University. We saw what happened over the weekend with this shooting. Your daughter went to Brown University. Then we saw Bondi, the Jewish community. You're Jewish. What do you recommend when we're trying to grapple with all of this, the anti-Semitism around the world? What's your message for faith and healing?
First of all, I wrote a chapter in this book on October 7th on what people went through on October 7th, on heroes who survived, but those who didn't survive. And the entire Jewish community around the world is very shook up right now. And as you said, Christian communities as well. Churches don't feel safe. Synagogues don't feel safe. This is an enormous problem that has to be solved right at the core. And October 7th should have been a wake-up call for that. Instead, Israel was constantly criticized after that. Instead of saying, we have to feel safe, we have to feel secure. Bondi, horrible. And right on Hanukkah, where we're actually praying for the idea of a miracle right from God, this happens. And Brown University, I want to say something. The professor there, who wasn't there, her family's friends with my daughter. They're terrific people. She's a stalwart in the Jewish community. This was either, in my opinion, an attack on young Republicans or another attack on Jews. That has to be really investigated with Brown, because it's very suspicious that her class was involved. Mm-hmm. This is a tight-knit community at Brown. 500 people in the engineering community, small Jewish community. I'm suspicious of this.
And the young girl who died, Ella Cook, she was the vice president of the Republican Club on campus, the one from Mountain Brook.
A terrific young woman who had a really bright life ahead of her.
She was 19 years old. Dr. Siegel, thank you so much. The Miracles Among Us, what an incredible book. It's fantastic. You have to pick it up. You do talk about a surgeon in the hospital after October 7th and the miracles he saw. There's also that Fox Nation special.
We interviewed him.
That's right. It was fantastic. Thank you so much, Dr. Siegel.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.